I hope you guys are having a good weekend. It is Saturday, June 29th, 2024. So it is time for the Madpixel weekend news. I mean, you could call it news. I don't know what you want to call it, but it can be news or just topics of interest to me, maybe to you. Just ranting and rambling on about some things I find interesting that we did not discuss during the week. So we have a few interesting things. It's kind of light this week. Nothing too crazy, but things that I do find interesting. Some things a few people had brought up. Nothing too crazy serious, not too dramatic, but interesting nonetheless. So this one, a few people had brought up, and I do find this intriguing. Play top titles like Starfield, Fallout 4, Forza Horizon 5 on your Fire TV. No console required. And as you see here, like Xbox Cloud Gaming. So they're bringing Xbox Cloud Gaming to these Fire Sticks. And I know some people will be like, whatever, big deal, cloud gaming. Yeah, I've said it in the past. I don't know if people are really prepped and ready for cloud gaming to take over the world. I don't think it is, but it's fine to be an option for people who can utilize it. With Xbox Cloud Gaming, I have tried it, and it's worked fine for me. But it's not really something that I use all the time. I've tested it. I've messed around with it, and it works okay. I'm not like an Xbox fanboy at all. I'm not an Xbox hater either. I've been critical. It's just the way it goes. Critical and praise when it's due. I don't play the Xbox all the time, but looking at this, on this screen, I have an Xbox. My kids play the Xbox more than I do. And, I'm looking up here like Starfield, Pal World, Goat Simulator 3, and even Sea of Thieves. My kids, they play those games. They love those games. So it's like, hey, I know these are some popular ones for, a lot of people. So to have more options to play these games, great. Cool on you, right? So that's nice. Fire Sticks, Fire TV, you're going to be able to play through Xbox Cloud Gaming if you have Game Pass Ultimate, if you're a member in July coming up, right? So that's what this integration is going to bring. And I've said this since early on with the Series S and X. I figured Xbox is going in a different direction this generation and going forward, maybe even more so going forward. That I feel more like they're becoming, and even with these acquisitions, it feels more that they're not so much a console company. That's the way I'm looking at it. They're more of a publisher. It's about access to their games and them making money. They're a business. They just want to make money. That's the way I'm looking at it. Like, I mean, obviously any business, you say the same about Nintendo, Sony, whatever. It's a means to an end. But I'm looking at Xbox more of like, they're just coming up with ways. And I've heard rumors like of next generation that there's this possibility of Xbox coming up with a console of being a baseline and then allowing other companies to make their own Xbox consoles. Like, that's a possibility. And I think that could definitely happen, because my thought is like, yeah, it's just about access and them making money, selling memberships, selling games. And they're not going to care at the end on how you play them as long as they're making money. That's just the way it seems. Like, yeah, if they can make money selling consoles, but if they can make money selling games on other devices, why not? They don't care how you're going to play these games. So that's just the way it seems to me. So yeah, adding, the ability to play these games through the cloud. Obviously, a Fire Stick's not going to natively be able to play Xbox games, but I find it interesting. Like, what happened to Amazon Luna, right? Like, I tried that. It worked okay. But I kind of gave up on it. I was like, I'm not going to pay for this crap. But, hey, it seems like a tie-in with like Fallout, I guess. Like, because when you go through this article, I'm not going to read all this, but like you go through this article, they talk about Fallout and the TV show, expanded universe for Fallout fans. You could play Fallout and you could watch Fallout. Yay! So it's just kind of a tie-in thing. I don't know, but hey, that's cool. In my opinion, it's cool. More access, the better. Not everybody's going to be jumping up for joy for this. I don't have a Fire Stick anymore. I did a video a long while ago about like emulating games on a Fire Stick. That video did great. Like, that was a few years back, but I don't even remember what happened to that Fire Stick. I bought it and did a video on it and threw it in a drawer somewhere. I don't have any Fire Sticks plugged in the TVs. Like, I have an Apple TV and the only reason I got an Apple TV was because of the compatibility with like the different audio, like Atmos and like, you know, all that kind of stuff. That was the only reason. So like smart TVs stuff, like it's almost like you don't really need these boxes and stuff anymore. But yeah, I got an Apple TV just because of the things that it supported. But yeah, that's cool. Moving on. Still with Xbox though. Some people had brought this up, and I just quickly want to touch on this. But the 360, man, 360 was an amazing console. I loved it. I've talked about it. I kind of flip-flopped on the Xbox 360 when it came out though. Like I got it. I was like, man, this is freaking awesome. And then there was a period where there were no games for it. Like, I don't know. I just gave up easily. Like, I admit I gave up easily. There's no games. Forget this console. I got rid of it. Sold it to a friend. And it was kind of weird because the friend I sold it to, that console got the red ring of death eventually. And then I did buy another one, and my console never had a problem. But when I sold him that console, and then when Gears of War came out, called me, hey, you got to see this game. I went to his house, saw the game. I was blown away. I'm like, holy shit. I remember he had like a 25-inch CRT, like a flat panel CRT, and he was playing it. It looked beautiful. Gears of War, I was like, I got to go get another Xbox. Holy crap. And I was like hooked. I was like, this is freaking amazing. But okay, 360, man. Store's closing July 29th, and they've been doing some crazy sales for games. If you still got a 360, you have to look. If you don't have a 360, you have to look up if these games are backwards compatible. You just got to look them up. But there's some crazy deals here. I'm not going to go through every single one of them because there's a lot. But look, like Dead Rising, 90% off, right? Click on Dead Rising. How much is Dead Rising? $2. The game is $2. You go through it. Fight Night, man. I love Fight Night. But let's see. Just find a couple. Oh, Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection. That's great. I have it on Steam. $5. I think I paid $10 on Steam. What else? What else do they got? Let's go to page 3. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Oh, that game's got like a million DLCs. I noticed when you go through these lists, if the game has a million DLCs, it's like hard to find where the actual game is. This game is awesome, but it's stupid with all this dumbass DLC. Like, where's the game? It's not on the first page. Doesn't look like it. Ugh. I'm going to skip. How many pages are there? Holy crap. I'm going to skip page 3. It's still DLC. Where the hell's the game at, right? I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the game. This is dumb, dude. Page 4, maybe? Oh, there it is. $2. $2 for the game. Cool, right? So there's a lot of games. If you still have a 360, look at the date. If you don't have 360 or you're looking for backwards compatible games, make sure you look them up first, right? Don't just buy games randomly if you don't have a 360 type of deal. Look up the deals, right? Look them up. Look at the deals, look up backwards compatibility, that kind of thing. July 29th, the store closes down. The final thing I want to quickly talk about is I saw this earlier. Sony Group to cut, I just saw this today. I think this news came out today. Sony Group to cut 250 jobs from recordable media business Key Hub. So Tokyo, Sony Group Corp is going to cut around 250 jobs from its recordable media business manufacturing hub in northern Eastern Japan and offer early retirement packages to its employees. They announced on Saturday today. The planned job cuts come amid a decline in demand for traditional storage formats such as Blu-ray discs, with streaming services now the norm. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Holy crap, man. That's just the way it is, man. That kind of sucks. Like, that may not be affecting the whole world. Like, this is in Japan, but like, that just sucks that physical media is starting to die out with these types of things. But I don't think we have to lose all hope on that. There's still plenty of companies working on things like this. And I found this interesting the other day. I just want to point this out. In the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., I for some reason, I found this website, Witter Entertainment, and these are official. VHS tapes. There's freaking Bufo and companies still making official VHS tapes. I bought Terrifier 1 and 2 on VHS and Willy's Wonderland on VHS. They were $30 each. $30 each. Yes, a little pricey, but for a freaking piece of media that's been out of like the norm for well over 20 years now, I think like VHS lasted a long time. and I think it was early 2000s that it completely, like, which was still kind of late, like it completely stopped. But companies are still making VHS. That's nuts, dude. That's freaking nuts. I mean, this company, it's mostly horror stuff, to be honest with you. But this is all official, too. And, like, Terrifier 2 double VHS, they sell them at Walmart's. Walmart's having them. That's nuts. So, like, people, like, you've seen, like, vinyl records have made a comeback. VHS is kind of, like, a very niche thing. Like, all hope is not lost. If there's people who want this stuff, companies will maybe continue to produce things, you know, but it's going to be like, maybe not, you could just walk in a store and find this stuff. You know, they'll still sell things online. I hope, but it just sucks seeing things like that, yeah, okay, well, there's a decline, so people have to lose their jobs. It's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. Convenience over, you know, owning things, I guess. That's unfortunate, you know, the unfortunate way it is. It's the way the world is, man. But there you go. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think. Bye.